de la Paz, and today, together with my group, we are going to present our collaborative research poster for Phase 5 of the course Testing and Evaluation in ELT. Our poster is titled Gamify and Inclusive Assessment Strategies to Improve Motivation and Basic English Skills. This work is based on activities developed in the previous phases, especially the classroom observation, the assessment design, and the Lab Innova educational resource created by our group. The main research questions that guide our group work is, how can gamified and inclusive assessment strategies improve the motivation and basic communicative skills in English of A1 level students? The context of this proposal is focused on sixth grade students with A1 English level. During the previous phases, we identified that many students face difficulties related to limited vocabulary, low motivations, problems understanding instructions, and basic grammar structures. For that reason, we consider that assessments should not only measure students' results, but also support their learning process. Assessments should be meaningful, accessible, inclusive, and connected to students' real education needs. Okay, now my classmate Damer will present the theoretical backgrounds of our proposals. Damer.
Thank you, Alessandra. In this section, I will present the theoretical background of our poster. Our proposal is based on four important concepts. First, formative assessment, inclusive assessment, gamification, and clear assessment criteria. First, formative assessment is important because it helps students improve during the learning process. It is not only focused on grades, but also on feedback, correction, or opportunities for improvement. Second, inclusive assessment means that all students should have equality opportunities to participate and demonstrate their learning. This can be achieved through clear instruction, visual support, flexible tasks, and activities adapt to students' different needs and learning styles. Third, gamification can help increase students' motivation. The use of games, challenges, quizzes, points, and interactive activities make student learning more dynamic and meaningful for students. And finally, clear criteria such as rubrics and checklists are necessary because they help students understand what is expected from them. They also make the assessment process more transparent and fair. And in conclusion, these historical elements support the idea that assessment should be formative, inclusive, motivating, and student-centered. Okay, now Jennifer will explain the methodology used in this work. Go ahead.
Thank you, Emir. The methodology is the work was qualitative, reflective, is was developed through the analysis the activities completed during the previous phase of the course. And phase 2, we observed and analyzed different assessment strategies and read our educational context. This observation had used identify students' difficulties and needs in English learning, specifically in areas such as vocabulary, grammar, reading, and speaking. In phase 3, we designed an English evaluation for sixth grade student at the L1 level. The assessment included reading comprehension, listening comprehension, multiple choice question, inferential question, and a short grade greeting task. A rubric was also included to assess student grading production and clarity in more objective way. In phase 4, we developed Lavino resources called English Quest from obligation to motivate. The resource was designed to motivate students through gamified and interactive activities. Finally, in phase 5, We integrate all the information into a collaborative poster and reflection video. This process allows the connect clear observation, assessment, deceit, gamification, and inclusive evaluation practice. Okay, now Bisne will present the main findings of our goal.
Thank you, Jennifer. In this section, I will present the main finding of our work. First, we found that I1 student need clear and structured assessment. At this level, student requires simple instruction example and written before completing activity. Second, we identify that vocabulary limitation can strongly affect a student comprehension and performance. Sometimes a student may understand the grammar topic, but they have difficulties because they do not know enough vocabulary. Their visual support and contextualized examples are very helpful. Images, videos, flashcards, and real-life examples can reduce anxiety and help students understand the task more easily. Four, teacher guidance improve student participation and confidence. When the teacher explains the instruction clearly and provides support, students feel more prepared to complete the assessment. Finally, why we found that gamified activities increase motivation and engagement, game quizzes and interactive tool can make English assessment more attractive and meaningful for the students. Now William will present the conclusion and recommendation.
Thank you, Vinay. To conclude, our work shows that gamified and inclusive assessment strategies can improve students' motivation and support the development of basic communicative skill in English. Assessments should be formative, flexible, and student-centered. This means that assessments should not only be used to assign a grade, but to help students recognize their strengths, identify their weaknesses, and improve their learning process. We also concluded that students need different ways to demonstrate their learning. Some students may perform better through writing tasks, while others might feel more confident with oral, visual, or interactive activities. Based on these conclusions, we suggest some recommendations. First, teachers should reinforce vocabulary before assignments, especially with beginner students. Second, it is important to use rubrics, checklists, self-assessments, and peer assessments to make evaluation clearer and more participating. Third, assignments show convenient writing, oral, visual, and interactive tasks, so students have different opportunities to show what they know. Finally, teachers should provide differentiated support and formative feedback so students can understand their mistakes and improve progressively. In general, this proposal shows that assessments can become a more inclusive, motivating, and meaningful process where it is connecting to students' real needs. Reflection.
Thanks, William. This is my final reflections. Throughout the different phases of this course, our understanding of the assessment change. We learn that assessment is not only about giving grades, but also about supporting a student's learning process.
Yes, through the different phases of this course, our understanding of assessment changed. We learned that assessment is not only about giving grades, but also about the supporting students' learning process.
Jennifer?
We also learned the competence-based evaluation show her students use English in real and meaningful situations, not only memorize grammar rules or answers in selected questions.
Another important learning point was that gamification can increase student motivation through games, challenges, and interactive tools. Students can feel more interested and confident when learning English.
Finally, we believe that English assignments can be more effective when it's formatted, inclusive, and connected to students' context. Teachers should use feedback, rubrics, digital tools, and different types of tasks to make assessment more meaningful.
Well, this is all for our meeting. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.